Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're talking about some of the cons of living in Osage Beach. Something to think about, something to consider. Let's check it out. All right, hey guys, my name is Scott, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome, thank you, and while you're here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button along with that notification bell because every week I'll put out a new video just telling you things that you should know about moving to or living in Lake of the Ozarks. We're also a group of licensed lenders and agents, so as much as I love making these videos, I would love even more to help you with your lending or real estate needs. So that number popping up below, I am the guy that'll answer the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If there's a question, a scenario, or just anything that I can do, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. Now, a couple weeks back, we did a video on the pros of living in Osage Beach and had some conversations from that video. And along the way, some of the people are asking, well, what are some of the cons, or what are some of the things that we should think about and consider? And I think one of the number one cons, or something to think about and consider, goes in correlation with the number one pro for some other people, right? So understanding where Osage is and what it is to Lake of the Ozarks. So let's go ahead and pull up a map of Missouri. We know on one side you have Kansas City, on the other side you have St. Louis. Go to the middle, go down, and that's where you're gonna find the lake. Now, when you're looking at the lake, we know this lake looks like an ancient Chinese dragon. So we're looking at the head, neck, and the belly, right? Legs, tail of the dragon. Well, Osage Beach is on the belly of the dragon. It's on the east side of the lake. And as you can see, you have Highway 54 that runs north and south along Osage Beach. So to the north is Jeff City, to the south is Camdenton. It's a main artery and a main highway that goes through this area. So Osage Beach is the heart of Lake of the Ozarks. It's where the majority of your retail stores are. It's where the majority of your restaurants. It's the majority of, the congestion and the amenities, the hospitals, there's schools. There's a ton of stuff kind of going on in the Osage area, which could be one of your cons. And it depends on who you are and what you're looking for, right? And if you're thinking about relocating or, moving down here and you want to have access to all of those things, but you don't want to be right in the congestion, one of the things to understand is because Osage is the heart, you're going to have this influx in tourism and out-of-towners that are going to come into the area and really infiltrate the area between Memorial Day and Labor Day, right? That is the peak season. That's when the majority of people will come down and take advantage of the lake and the outdoor activities and everything that's wonderful about here, but that can congest things, right? It can add more traffic to the roadways and add more seats or add more people in seats at restaurants. It's going to create congestion in that area. So something to think about, maybe something to consider is that fine line of maybe needing to be really close to all of the major amenities, again, schools and hospitals and grocery stores and hardware stores and restaurants and all that stuff. But how do you find that balance between being super close to all of those things? Maybe you want to be in the heart, right? So maybe that was a pro, but if you are looking for a little bit of elbow space, then we got to find you the right spot that gets you close to all of those amenities, gives you the convenience of all of those things, but maybe you're not right in the heart of it. Because if you're not a fan of tourism, if you're not a fan of, right, out-of-towners coming in and using all of the amenities, then you might want to rethink living in Osage, and maybe there's some other place on the outskirts to check out. One of the other pieces to the Osage area, or maybe the lake in general, right? And we talk to folks and they're asking questions about job opportunities, and the majority of this area, we maybe feel a certain way about out-of-towners or the tourism that comes in, but we have to understand that that's a big component to the economy here, right? And we need those tourism dollars. And when it comes to jobs, and if you're relocating, a lot of you are retiring and a lot of you have jobs where you work from home, but there are a percentage that are looking to move here. and find employment at the same time. And, it's easy to come down and jump into the hospitality business, right? Jump into a restaurant or a hotel or a venue that, caters to tourism, right? The con or the downside to that is it's typically seasonal, right? So in the wintertime, because there's not that influx in tourism, there's not enough people or locals to keep some of those restaurants or those tourist attractions open. So they're going to shut down in the wintertime. So it's easy to come down and really find employment and start working right away during those kind of summer months. But then you got to maybe think about what you could do during the winter months to offset some of that seasonal type work. So food for thought, that can also kind of come back to, maybe labor and construction jobs or some of those other things that's readily available, but could also be maybe a little bit seasonal or could be impacted by weather. Just some food for thoughts and some things to think about if you're thinking about finding employment here and when you're relocating. All right, so we've talked a little bit about the location, the tourism that kind of comes into this area, seasonal employment, if you're looking for employment when you come down, and understanding that this is a tourist destination that runs hot from Memorial Day to Labor Day, so during that peak season. Another thing about the Osage area to think about is because of its popularity, right? And some people want to be in the heart of it, some people don't, but if the majority of them do and they want the convenience of the amenities and they want to be in the scene, because of the popularity of Osage, can also drive up the price of homes or condos in that area as well. And so if you're relocating and you have a certain budget and, let's say that budget is $550 max, you can't go above $550, you might have a few more limitations in the Osage area because the price point of home might be a little bit higher. Now, you can still find homes in that price range, you just might not find as many homes as you would if you went down into Camdenton or if you went down the tail of the Dragon, down towards where I live, right? So you live further down the waterways, you're going to have more options. So that could be a con for Osage, right? Because that's where the influx of people and the majority of things are. The value and the price points of homes might push you out of your budget or out of your comfort zone. The other piece to it is, that retirement stuff. When you're retiring and you're on a fixed budget or a fixed income potentially, those are the things to consider. Are we have the ability to pay off our mortgage and have no mortgage payment? Do we have to carry a small mortgage? And if we do, finding the right home that meets our needs in the right location for the right reasons, that Osage area could have a little bit more limitations. And if you are looking for, the flip side to that is a very specific home, like I have to have 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. I want two well dock. I want a garage. I want flat space, like whatever your wish list is, you can find that in Osage. But then again, your price point might be a little bit higher. So it just comes back to who you are and why you're relocating and obviously the budget that you can afford. There's going to be phenomenal options in Osage. There are some amazing homes in that area and obviously they're super convenient, but again, could be a con just depending on who you are and why you're moving here. So there you go, guys. Just a few topics and things to think about and consider if you're thinking of the Osage area. Right? It's a tourist destination. So your peak season from Memorial to Labor Day, influx of people, congestion on the roadways, a little bit more congestion in your restaurants, right? So understand what that tourism looks like during that peak season. And obviously, what does that look like from a potential job perspective? If you need employment, cool, easy to get into that hospitality piece, but it might shut down during the wintertime. So think about, hey, can I get enough hours during the summer and not work in the winter? Or do I have to find something else during the winter time? Just food for thought. And then, right, just depends on who you are and why you're coming down and what your budget is. There's some phenomenal properties in there, but because of the draw and attraction to Osage, it might put you out of your budget, right? Potentially it could be just a little bit higher with a little less inventory, and just something to think about and consider, right? I say it all the time. We're licensed lenders and agents. The videos are great, but I would love more to open up that conversation with you, set you up on a home search, show you more of the area, talk pros, talk cons, give you any information that you need, okay? So the number popping up below, I'll be the guy that answers the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If there's more questions, scenarios, or home search that we can put you on, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. And until then, we'll see you on the next video.